All right, thanks for joining us on this edition of the program. We'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League. That is the hottest topic in the world of football right now. And games have gone down on Tuesday, and we'll bring you the features of those that will be coming on up on Wednesday. Let's talk about those that have been played on Tuesday. Ajax of Amsterdam defeated Besiktas in the Netherlands by 2 goals to nothing right there at the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam. Sebastian Haller becoming the first player to score 5+ goals in their first 2 UEFA Champions League games, adding one to his 4 strikes against Sporting Lisbon in the opening week of the UEFA Champions League. And Steven Berghuis was also on target yesterday. The Netherlands player was the best player on the pitch, scoring one and creating another in the minutes spent on the pitch. And of course, congratulations to Ale. The Ivorian has been doing very fine this season, top scorer in the UEFA Champions League, and doing very well in the Dutch Eredivisie also. Nice one for him. And of course, another game that was played yesterday, early kickoff on Tuesday, Shakhtar Donetsk hosted Inter Milan in Ukraine, and that game ended goalless, the third consecutive goalless draw between both sides. They met in the UEFA Champions League group stage last season, and it ended goalless on the 2 occasions. And yesterday there was nothing to separate both sides, and they had to settle for a point each. Their first point in the UEFA Champions League this season. Both sides lost their opening game, with Inter Milan losing to Real Madrid. The late goal scored by Rodrigo goes at their stadium right there in Italy, in Milan, Italy, and Shakhtar Donetsk losing to Sheriff on the opening week of the UEFA Champions League. And of course, in the other group game, in that group, in the Shakhtar Donetsk group, Real Madrid were beaten at home by a team founded in 1997, that is Sheriff Tiraspol. The Moldovan side defeated Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, causing the biggest upset, one of the biggest upsets in the UEFA Champions League history. Their first ever appearance in the UEFA Champions League, and defeating the winner of the most titles in the competition. That's Real Madrid. They've won the UEFA Champions League 13 times, and they were beaten at home right there at the Santiago Bernabeu by Sheriff. 2 goals to 1 it finished, and in that match, Karim Benzema overtakes Raul Gonzalez to become the 4th top scorer in the UEFA Champions League history. Karim Benzema, of course, now has 72 Champions League goals, while Raul Gonzalez scored 71 in his playing time. Karim Benzema has been doing very, very well this season. He has come clutch for Real Madrid on several occasions, stood up when they needed someone to be there, and this season, currently the top scorer in all competitions. No player come close to what he's been doing so far this season for Real Madrid in the La Liga, and of course in the UEFA Champions League. This is his first goal in the UEFA Champions League this season, of course, and Madrid's second goal. The first was scored by Rodrigo goals against Inter Milan, the 1-0 win in the opening week, and not a very, very good one for Carlo Ancelotti's side, losing that game, but of course they will be looking to bounce back this weekend when they play in the Spanish La Liga. And Lionel Messi scored his long-awaited debut goal for Paris Saint-Germain in their 2-0 win over Manchester City at the Parc des Princes yesterday, that is Tuesday. The Argentine scoring PSG's second of the night after Idrissa Gueye had fired them in front in the early minutes of the first half. That was an early goal scored in the 8th minute, and of course Messi making it 2 with his first goal for Paris Saint-Germain in the second half to seal a 2-0 victory for Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City, their first ever victory against Manchester City in the history of the UEFA Champions League. The two sides met last season in the UEFA Champions League, and of course it was Manchester City that came out on top on both occasions, defeating their opponent by 4 goals to 1 on aggregate to progress to the final of the competition. But yesterday, on Tuesday, it was Paris Saint-Germain that won the game. And Liverpool defeated FC Porto in Portugal by 5 goals to 1. That is, Liverpool have now scored 14 goals in their last 3 visits to Porto, conceding just twice. That is a very, very brief statement for the Reds that never walk alone against Porto. And the likes of Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino have scored each of the 3 games they've played in Porto. Yesterday, all 3 were also on target. An impressive outing for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who made it 6 points from 2 games in the UEFA Champions League this season. An English young midfielder, Curtis Jones, registered 3 assists in that match, and he was even responsible for one of Liverpool's goals. His shot meant for the goal was blocked by the goalkeeper, and of course that eventually fired into the back of the net by Roberto Firmino to score one of his goals for Liverpool yesterday. An impressive outing for the Liverpool young midfielder. And another man who also impressed on Tuesday was James Milner, who came in for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who missed out through injury. Arnold, of course, is also a doubt for Manchester City's game against Liverpool this weekend in the English Barclays Premier League. And Leipzig, also a disappointing one for them in the UEFA Champions League this season. They played 2 games and lost 2 games. On the opening day, they lost to they lost to Manchester City by 6-3. And on Tuesday, they were beaten at home by Club Brugge, who made it 4 points from 2 games in the Champions League this season. Christopher Nkunku scored another goal in that one, adding to their trick. He scored against Manchester City in their first game. He now has 4 goals in the UEFA Champions League this season, one of the top performance in the competition. And AC Milan were unfortunate to be on the losing side yesterday when they hosted Atletico Madrid at the San Siro Stadium. They took the lead in the first half through Rafael Leao, the Portuguese striker, scoring their first goal in the UEFA Champions League since 2013. And they were unfortunate as they lost Frank Kessie to a red card, and some controversial decision by the central referee led to them losing the game by 2-1. Antoine Griezmann scored his first goal on his return to Atletico Madrid to equalize for the Spanish side, and Luis Suarez scoring deep into extra time to win it for the away side at the San Siro Stadium. And Borussia Dortmund defeated Sporting Lisbon 1-0. The goal scored by Daniel Malen. Erling Haaland missed the game through injury. Of course, he was presented as the UEFA Men's Best Forward of the season before kickoff of the game. Congratulations to Braut Erling Haaland for that achievement. And of course, one man we also need to say shout out to is Idrissa Gana Gueye, the Senegalese midfielder. Is doing African proud. I mean, being named the man of the match in a game that had the likes that featured the likes of Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Kylian Mbappe, and so many other stars are featuring in that one. But he was the star of the show and was awarded with the man of the match award at the end of the match. And that is it for all the games that have been played in the UEFA Champions League. Let's take a look at those coming up on Wednesday. We have Atalanta. They will be at home against Young Boys who defeated Manchester United in their first game. They will be playing against Atalanta this time. Of course, Zenit St. Petersburg lost their first game to Chelsea. They will be playing against Malmo, who also lost their first game at home to Juventus by 3-0. Bayern Munich, the dominant side in the group, they will be facing Dynamo Kiev later on Wednesday. And Benfica hosts Barcelona. Barcelona looking for their first point in the UEFA Champions League this season. And the weekend they beat Levante by 3-0. And the return of Ansu Fati, who scored on his return, that will be another boost for the Catalan Giants as they prepare to take on the Portuguese side tonight. They'll be hoping that Ansu Fati can maintain consistency on his return from injury and help them fire them to better fortunes this season. Benfica will host them later today in Porto. Manchester United are at home against Villarreal, the rematch of the 2021 UEFA Europa League final. Manchester United lost on that final on penalties to Villarreal, and they will be looking for revenge when they host Villarreal at the Old Trafford Stadium on Wednesday evening. But Manchester United, are they ready for this revenge mission? They will be missing four uh, three of their back four will be missing today. The Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were injured and were substituted in the weekend defeat to Aston Villa in the Premier League. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be missing through suspension. He got red carded in the first game of the UEFA Champions League against Young Boys earlier in the month, and he will be missing later today. But they will be counting on the likes of Victor Lindelof, Rafael Varane, Alex Telles, and Diogo Dalot to come in for them and do justice to those positions. But Manchester United are currently on a run of 3 defeats in 4 games. Those numbers are not quite encouraging for a side that will be facing Villarreal, who have remained unbeaten in the La Liga this season, having faced the likes of Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid away from home. They remain unbeaten, and that will be a huge test for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side when they face Villarreal later on Wednesday evening. Wolfsburg will be at home against Sevilla. Salzburg will be at home against Lille, and Juventus against Chelsea. One of the big games tonight in the UEFA Champions League. The last time Chelsea visited the Allianz Arena in Turin, they were beaten. The Allianz Stadium in Turin, I beg your pardon, they were beaten 3-0 by Juventus, goal scored by Quagliarella, Arturo Vidal, and Giovinco. But Chelsea right now are a team on form, even if they lost the last time out in the league to Manchester City by 1-0. Notwithstanding, they will be the favourite heading into this one against Juventus. Juventus will also be missing Paulo Dybala and Alvaro Morata. Both players picked up injuries in their win over the weekend. Dybala giving Juventus the lead in the 10th minute of the match, only to be substituted in the 21st minute through injury. Hopefully he returns quick and keep Juventus firing again. Chelsea will also be missing N'Golo Kante. The French midfielder has tested positive for COVID-19 and will be missing this match and of course the Premier League game coming up this weekend. He is also a doubt for the upcoming international games for France. And the likes of Mason Mount and Reece James, Christian Pulisic are also expected to miss this clash. They will be on the sideline through injuries and illness. They missed Chelsea's weekend game against Manchester City, and they will be expected to sit out of this clash also. Those are the games coming up in the UEFA Champions League this weekend. On Wednesday, we'll urge you to watch out for them. And of course, another big one, UEFA dropping their case against UEFA Super League, dropping their case against Super League teams, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus, and UEFA calling the proceedings null and void. Those are big statements from the UEFA, and of course, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus have proven to be strong teams going head-to-head with UEFA, and coming out on top. They were, we say, a big congratulations to them. They've done very well. And in the other news, Granit Xhaka, Arsenal midfielder, is expected to be out of action for up to 6 to 8 weeks. The player got injured in the North London derby win over Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday, and he is now expected to be out for action until the month November. He will be missed by the Gunners, for he did very well in their win over Tottenham Hotspur in the North London derby. The Gunners have won 3 Premier League games on the bounce after losing 3 of their opening 3 games in the league, and now they are in good form heading into their game this weekend against Brighton and Hove Albion, where they will be looking to continue their good run of form. And that will be all we have time for on the show today. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.